Andrew Wilson's basically, he crashed out on this lesbian lady that he was debating. And I just wanted to watch the main clip here to understand what exactly happened. We're not going to watch a ton of the clips. You know, if you want summaries or well-crafted material about what happened or context material about what happened, you're far better off giving Too Lazy a watch. But what I wanted to do is watch the main chunk of clips here that Too Lazy put up about what sort of the ground zero of the virality that, you know, where people are going against Andrew Wilson, and get into, we'll talk about both the good parts and the bad parts of Andrew Wilson, right? Because I think that the mistake that people make when they criticize the Manosphere is that, or criticize anything really, is they'll take entire ideologies and systems of thinking, entire people, and they'll break them down in a way that's like, everything about this entire worldview is trash and wrong. And it's so polarizing. And I feel like that's most of what the internet is so polarized. To preface this, I think that there are some positive things about Andrew Wilson, as I think there are positive things about the lady he's debating, and there's positive things about everybody. But he got very, very much exposed on this clip, and then the compilations that people are making are sort of showing the problem of him being basically just contradicting his own values. All right, let's roll the clip.
The reason is not because I'm not a great orator or I don't make good points, but the reason is not because I'm not a great orator or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think, honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So, Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you,
you lick
sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What does that
You're
mean?
a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say?
Your wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm
daddies?
sorry, Dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try
show
to...
your hatred against...
Do the women that you try
convince them
to...
that they should...
So when you get this angry and you go to the, not just ad hominems, but the, you know, the slur saying, and it's like he's triggered. It's interesting that he's taking this particular attack in calling her out for being a sniz licker and all this stuff, because it's like, aren't you as well? You guys both lick coochie. Am I wrong? Am I missing something, Andrew? I mean, I actually don't think he looks like the kind of guy who would lick cooch. I doubt his wife gets a ton of cunnilingus, but he's insulting himself to insult her, and he's also insulting her in a really, really, like, even if you're gonna go at the fact that she's lesbian, do it artfully. He didn't have any good roasts or burns. He went straight to the lowest common denominator thing, which was to call her a dyke. And you saw her eyebrows raise up, and she was like, damn, wow. She didn't even realize that she triggered him. And I'm shocked that he got triggered by that, because I feel like this is a specific criticism he should be used to by now.
You know, like, Charlie, did I bring
women? Do they know
Charlie?
that
Did I bring your family?
5 years older?
Did I bring any of your family into anything?
Stupid.
Did I say anything about your family being stupid, Charlie?
You could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit, because
Let's
you
go
are not
through
a
it.
traditional man.
Chuck, what am I doing?
She cooked there with that.
Being married to my
I don't
wife.
think it's immoral.
Then why? So then.
Under my
So all
worldview,
you did.
that's perfectly
So wait,
acceptable.
Chuck. All you're doing is saying. So Chuck, shouldn't you actually be saying that, Andrew? You're doing a good thing.
Do you think your wife is a charity case?
By taking care of children who weren't mine. Was I doing a good thing? Whose fathers abandoned them? Was I doing a good thing?
Yeah, you're doing a good thing.
Oh, okay. Well then, Chuck, why did you use that as a form of personal attack on me?
Got you real red in the face.
Okay, my hands were on my face just now, Chuck.
And before.
Because my hands were on my face, Chuck.
Oh,
It was
'cause you're mad.
It's performative, Chuck. I don't know. You looked pretty angry just a second ago, Chuck. You were
This
pretty
is
upset.
what my face looks like.
Yeah, so he was going.
Yeah, he was mad. He was mad. He was mad. We can all see that he was mad, and she was completely calm. And it's not a good look for someone who espouses that being emotional is a feminine trait and men shouldn't be emotional. That's the thing with a lot of ideologies, is that, and this is my overall sort of broad message to men, no one ideology is going to completely encapsulate your life. No one ideology is going to save you. No one person's way of living the world, no one framework for understanding problems, for understanding the world is going to fix everything. Life is far too complex and nuanced and just dynamic for one worldview. So every worldview at a point is going to fail you. Now, as I said, up top, I want to acknowledge the good things about Andrew Wilson. He is a very sound debater for the most part. Very sound debater. He locks into logical fallacies. I believe the way his argumentation, the form, it's the opposite of Socratic, where they ask questions and they try to arrive at the truth together. It's very aggressive. And was he a sophist or an aristic or something? Whatever. I don't know the terms. But basically, it's the sort of argumentation where it's quick fire, rapid fire questioning, taking a potentially really weak standpoint and then proving you wrong with the quick fire, rapid arguments, logical fallacy pointing out, and just being kind of a boorish debater, right? And he's very good at it, okay? And it's fun to watch. And to me, being fun to watch is one of the most important things, right? Over and above being right. Because what the fuck does it even mean to be right? I don't know, but I do know what I enjoy. So I do enjoy his debates. I don't always agree with him. In fact, very often I don't agree with him. I think he doesn't seem like a fun person to have as a spouse or as a dad because he's so militaristic, specifically about being right, you know? And again, maybe that's just his persona on these debate things. But those are some of the good things, or some of the good to medium things. Oh, one more good thing. Really enjoyed him taking apart Wes Watson. The first time I ever saw him was him versus Wes Watson on Fresh and Fit. Super fun. But yeah, the bad things are that, and again, this happens with every one of these men in the manosphere, is that at some point you're going to fall short of your own rhetoric. Right? It's always good to have something to aspire to. It's always good to put out a strong idea of what masculinity should be, what men should aspire to. All these people, starting from the grandfather of it all, Jordan Peterson, to all of these guys, it is good to have a ideology. It is good to have a moral worldview, and it is good to put it out there and go, hey man, this is what we should all aspire to. This is how I think I can make the world better. That is good. So all of these guys are trying to do something good, but the problem is that you're always going to fall short of your own rhetoric, and you should have some space for that too. And none of these guys do. Now, if you could just tone it down and be like, hey man, yeah, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. If you could just be like, but it wouldn't fall in line with his sophistic, over-the-top form of argumentation, catching people out, being right all the time. It wouldn't fall in line with that, with who he is, right? So he can never admit to being wrong. So sometimes he's going to be called out for the very obvious, glaring contradictions in how he views the world and how he lives his life versus how he's telling people to live his life, live their lives, or telling people what's right about what's right. And, you know, he's going to fall short. He's going to fall short of that. And then he's going to pop off, shit on her for licking sniz, which again, what's your problem with doing that? You're supposed to be doing that. And if you don't, then you're falling short of one of your manly duties. I don't know. I don't know what Andrew Wilson's worldview is on cunnilingus. Is a man supposed to, is that one of the duties that men are supposed to do? I don't know. So if you can't have the awareness to realize where you've fallen short of your own rhetoric and be like, yeah, and if you can't incorporate that sort of cognitive dissonance of being like, you know, I do tell people to live a traditional lifestyle, and I have fallen short of that myself in a way. If you can't sort of navigate that except through anger, it's funny because he's all about logic, being logical and stuff, but he can't logic himself through that. Or he's trying to. He's going, aren't I a good person for taking care of people whose fathers abandoned them? Because his wife has 2 other baby daddies, I believe, and he's taking care of those kids aren't his. And I would argue that probably is a good thing. It's not a decision that I would make for myself or that I've made for myself. But I don't think it's nice to shit on guys who do that, because being a good step parent is a good thing. Now, people on the internet get very upset about step parents, especially male step parents, especially if it's a white guy and he's taking care of like a black kid. I think if you're a good step parent to that kid, I think that's a laudable thing. But you know, all of Red Pill hates it. And one of the people who hates it is this man over here. It's not that maybe he hasn't shat on being a step parent, but he's definitely off the worldview where he's like, this person's a beta cuck for this reason, and that person's a beta. He's definitely on record calling people cucks and betas and shit like that, and not in like a reasonable way either, in a very aggressive way. And he's also calling women hoes all the time, and he's always arguing, by the way, about being a 304, and he goes pretty hard in the paint. And again, that's kind of why I enjoy him, but at the same time, if you're gonna go that hard in the paint, eventually you're gonna meet your match with somebody who's gonna take what glaring flaws you have going on and turn them back around on you. Even if you're just having a bad day, you risk popping off and creating this kind of viral moment. And I guess that's what happened. Let's see the last clip here.
Fact. And you brought it up because you wanted to use it as something disparaging, but you can't figure out how it's disparaging.
It's disparaging because it goes against the worldview that you espouse.
What part of me marrying a woman who was divorced goes against my worldview?
You say gnarly things about promiscuous women and that they're disgusting.
That's not promiscuity.
You say 3 baby daddies? Yes, that's promiscuous.
Wait a second. Help me out here. How many times have you had sex?
It's certainly under 10.
Yeah, and she has 3 long-term relationships, and I'm one of them. Okay, Chuck.
All of these parameters are meaningless. That the entire debate here, you've had 10 sexual partners, what is more promiscuous, 10 sexual partners or 3 baby daddies? There's no real answer to that question. It's a person-to-person thing. Again, debating it's fun. I enjoy it. But let's be honest, there's no real answer to that. If people start talking about it, there are going to be 50 different answers, and 25 of them are going to be about say 10 sleeping with 10 people is more promiscuous, and the other 25 are going to be like having 3 baby daddies is more promiscuous. My opinion is that it's the 3 baby daddies, but I also don't give that much of a shit, dude. As a human, these are questions you're going to have to answer for your own specific life. How much is too promiscuous? Do I want this or do I not? And men, you have to find answers for yourself on these questions, okay? You're not going to be able to live up to the standards of Andrew Tate. He's got a lot of positive ways of thinking for men that I think impact men in a good way. But if you try to adopt every single aspect of how he lives his life, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be miserable. Same with Andrew Wilson, right? He's got some good things. He does push some good things. But if you try and copy every aspect of him, you're going to end up just like confused like he is. Because he needs his idea of promiscuity to be it's like a catch-all that everyone accepts. And again, that's part of this sophistic debating that he has to do. He has to be right. It's not like Socratic where it's like, let's find truth together. Let's agree to disagree. Let's have a good faith dialogue. I'm not saying he has never had good faith dialogues. He does, but that's not what's going on in the Whatever podcast. No, the Whatever podcast is about owning. And hey, that's fun too, but don't get your values from there. Don't get into the debates like they matter, like they really matter, okay? You're going to lose yourself in the dumbness of a debate over what's more promiscuous, 10 partners or 3 baby daddies. It's 3 baby daddies.
Tell me which one of you are promiscuous?
Through having had children with them, forever tied to her. That's a much stronger bond than a hookup.
Okay, but help me out. You fuck way more women than my wife, and she's the promiscuous one?
I have what I would consider 100% faith and trust in my wife. Mm-hmm. But I told her, I told her these words exactly. You're going to get the fucking test, and if not, I'm out the door. Period.
Well, also... And the way Andrew talks about his wife, you'd think she's some quiet lady who stays off social media and focuses on the family and their home. But she's really a vulgar loudmouth that's trying to be an influencer.
And that's what I like about her. She'll come on. I've watched her in the Whatever podcast. Just come on and just get and lay into these women. And the women never know. They're like, who's his wife? Like, I don't even believe he has a wife. And then she'll come on and be like, you fat pig. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny, but it would be one thing if they were like comedians just coming in to just call people fat pigs and this and that, but they're pushing like a really strong Christian worldview. In theory, they're trying to do good faith things on a bad faith podcast, you know? They're like, oh no, we're really strong Christians who are against promiscuity and we're all about like debate and pushing values. And then they go on the Whatever podcast and talk to whores and call them whores. And it's still trashy reality TV, you know, all of it. It's just trashy reality TV, and so you can't really take it too seriously. You can't take it as seriously as they take it, right? Because Andrews takes himself really seriously, and you can't take it that seriously. There's gonna be flaws in it. There's gonna be gaping flaws in it. For more big news for the unemployed, subscribe.